Howdy, folks. I'm Brian,
I'm Amber.
and here's some Reddit. I guess Amber's being spooky. Are you a ghost, Amber?
I don't know what I am, but I have bats on.
You're doing the spooky hands like you
Yeah,
are a
I'm
ghost.
being spooky. Oh, yeah, I can be a ghost today. That's what I am.
You're a ghost today.
I was the Mad Hatter earlier, but now I'm a ghost.
And here's some Reddit. All right, our first letter is titled, Am I the Jerk? For losing it on my husband for sharing with his family a video of me in a vulnerable state. And this one does involve pregnancy and childbirth, and manipulation too. I'm a 30-year-old female, and I had my son 2 weeks ago. I gave birth at a private hospital, and my husband requested to take a video of our son being born, but I refused because it involved my privacy. But then I agreed after he said that he wanted to keep it as a memory for us as a family. Well, last night we were visiting my in-laws and I caught a glimpse of the video in my sister-in-law's phone. My throat closed up from shock. The video was muted. I asked if my husband had sent her this video. She said yes. As a matter of fact, he had shared it with the whole family. I couldn't bear it. I just walked into the kitchen where he was sitting and playing a board game with his dad and blew up on him. I asked how he could do this to me, and he played dumb for a minute. I mentioned the video and how he had shared what is considered a private content with his family without getting my consent. He acted like it was no big deal, but I kept scolding him about it. He yelled back, saying that this was not about me, that it was about his family and they deserved to witness our son's first moment of his life. Totally not about you,
So
OP.
gross.
Totally not about you. His mom came in asking what the commotion was about, and his dad offered to get everyone to delete the video as a solution. His mom sided with him and agreed that it was about their grandbaby's first moments. I felt so overwhelmed I decided to leave. He came home later saying that I made him look small when I started yelling and scolding him in front of his family. He insisted it wasn't about me and that he shared a video of the baby. He didn't get how I took it as him invading my personal privacy and disrespecting me in any way. I refused to speak to him after that, and he is still acting hurt that I treated him poorly in front of his parents when I could have talked to him about it privately. Alright folks, what do you think, jerk or not the jerk?
Absolutely not the jerk. 0 on the jerk meter. Your husband is a full 5. His mom is also a full 5, and the other family members who are watching this knowing they don't have your consent. Like, this is divorce territory.
Yeah, well, I don't know if the other family's members know at this point in time, and I think it's important to give them the benefit of the doubt.
Well, that's why I said anyone who knows.
Yeah, if the sister-in-law didn't know, and it sounds like she didn't, because why would she offer this or watch it, you know? And the husband was very deceptive here. He may have had a different idea about what he meant by family. Like, he said that it just is a video that he wants to keep as a memory for us as a family. So
it sounds, the way he says that, it sounds like he means the two of them.
Yeah, and I agree. That's the way it sounds to me, and that's the way it sounded to OP as well,
And
because clearly OP was taken aback by this.
If he thought OP wanted it, he would have told her he was sharing. He knew specifically that she didn't want it. This is such a gross invasion of her privacy and personal boundaries. Like, this, like, literally, he did something, like, you can get in trouble, legal trouble, for sharing this kind of stuff. Like, so I would get, you know, if he doesn't delete it, or you don't trust his family to just delete it, I would contact a legal team to see if you can get some way to have it legally rectified, so they have to get rid of this on all their devices, because that is just so gross that he would share that without your consent.
Yeah, I mean, I do think that the consent is the big part here, and this is definitely not a video that everyone wants shared to the world, so I can certainly understand OP's embarrassment here. And OP, while I wouldn't necessarily say blowing up on a partner is always a good thing, you were really in a vulnerable state and you were taken by surprise here, so I don't really think your reaction was unnecessary or unreasonable. I think most people would react in a similar way.
I mean, she didn't murder him.
No,
like, no. You know, with this gross level of invasion of privacy, like, I will give her a full pass on yelling at him.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
It is so gross. This man is terrible.
Speaking of unreasonable people, our next letter is titled, Am I the Jerk for Canceling Dinner Because My Girlfriend Didn't Feed My Daughter Lunch? And this one involves I wouldn't say child endangerment yet, but it could.
It's definitely negligence.
Negligence. I think there's negligence here. I'm a 33-year-old male, and I've been living with my girlfriend, a 30-year-old female, for over a year. She quit her job as soon as she moved in with me, saying that technically she's a stay-at-home mom since she takes care of my 5-year-old daughter. I thought her decision was a little odd for many reasons, including the fact that my daughter is only comfortable with me taking care of her needs. Well, yesterday when I was at work, since my girlfriend was still getting used to my daughter's routine, I decided to help by making her a schedule and even setting up alarms for certain activities like showering. Well, at 1 p.m., my daughter was supposed to eat her lunch. It was on the schedule, but I still texted my girlfriend to remind her. All she had to do was reheat the food that I had cooked the night before, since I'm the one who does all the cooking. I got home at around 5 and I found my daughter in her room with some chips. I asked why she was having chips at that time, and she said it was because my girlfriend didn't give her lunch. I asked why, and she said that she had friends over. I was livid. I rushed to confront her, and she tried to downplay it, saying that she forgot, and she was chatting with her friends made her forget. I said it was BS since she had a schedule. She said I was just judging her for still getting used to my daughter's routine and forgetting stuff. But I literally texted her to remind her. She claimed that she didn't see the text, but her phone never leaves her hand. I've decided that I won't be cooking for her or her family, who were supposed to be coming over last night for dinner. She freaked out, saying that I couldn't do that to her and put her in that situation, after I agreed to cook for the night. I said that it was done and declined to keep arguing. She started screaming that I was being too harsh on her, not giving her time to adjust properly. She ended up canceling dinner with her family, but it's pretty much made her mad at me for backing out last minute. Alright, folks, what do you think, jerk or not the jerk?
Not the jerk. This may be breakup territory, and you will be the jerk if you leave your daughter alone with her again without some significant changes to her behavior.
Yeah, I do think that there are some definite red flags here, especially when it comes to child endangerment and neglect. Like, if she's this easily distracted that she doesn't remember to feed a child, then that's not a really good sign. Like, what happens if she accidentally forgets her in the car, or you know, any number of things on a hot day? You know, that's when tragedies happen.
Yeah, well, and forgetfulness is one thing, and that's a possibility here, but this actually seems more like complete negligence. Like, she can't be bothered. I've got my friends, like, it seems like she's using the stay-at-home mom excuse as a matter of convenience. Like, she's been watching this kid supposedly for a little while now. LP's like has to like text her the whole schedule, send her reminders to feed a child. Like, that should be a thing that you as a parent
or as a stay-at-home mom, that's kind of your thing. And this sounds like a relatively recent turn of events where she's decided to be stay-at-home mom, so I don't know how long this has been going on for.
True, but like, it sounds like she's been home since they moved in together, so it sounds like it's not like just yesterday.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the timeline's a little confusing.
It is wonky.
So from the way he makes it sound like she's maybe quit her job, but now she's all of a sudden decided that maybe she was confronted about it or whatnot, and she's just saying, no, I actually just want to be a stay-at-home mom or something. The timeline's weird. Let me know what you folks think. But I think OP does get zero. They're upset because the welfare of their child is at risk here. And I think that is a legitimate place to be upset at somebody for.
Absolutely. And I mean, I think canceling the dinner is fair here, and definitely reconsider whether you want to be in a relationship with someone who has so little regard for your child.
Yeah, that's a pretty harrowing territory there. The girlfriend, what does she get for marks?
I mean, I have to know her motives for sure. I'm pretty sure that she is like just being negligent, so I'm gonna give her like at least a 4. If it was like actually she's just really scatterbrained, I might give her a 3, but I don't think that's the case.
Yeah. And the daughter, she gets a full 5 for eating chips for dinner.
No, she gets a 0.
Anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, our next letter is titled, Am I the jerk for calling my husband and brother-in-law jerks because they called my best friend a stray and said that I couldn't help her? I've been with my best friend Amber since we were both 5, and she's like family to me. We're so close growing up that my parents would take her with us on family vacations, and she would spend the holidays with us. My husband doesn't like Amber, and I haven't seen much of her since I got married and moved countries 3 years ago, but we kept in touch. Life hasn't been kind to her recently, and she's really struggling. She asked me if she could come and stay with me for a little while, as she wants to move here and start over. I told her that she could, but I needed to check if it was okay with my husband first. He said no, and wouldn't budge on his decision, and didn't want her in his house. I suggested that we give her some money so she could move here and have her own place, but he said that I couldn't do that either. He mentioned our fight in front of his brother, who made a joke about how Amber was a stray and that I was overly attached, which my husband agreed with. I got annoyed when my brother-in-law told me that she was using me and my husband was right not to let me help her, and I told them that they were both jerks. This caused an argument between the three of us, and now we're all mad at each other, especially my husband at me, because I told him that I would help Amber even if he didn't want me to. Am I the jerk? Alright, folks, what do you think? Jerk or not the jerk?
I'm gonna go with not the jerk. I mean, what they said was completely dehumanizing. That is not a joke. Comparing people to strays is not cool.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, I can understand if your husband doesn't want her living in your house, but he can't tell you that you can't help your friend.
I think that's actually a really important point. And I think that also, why does he hate her so much? It's really the question I have. Like, did she do something to him or whatnot? Because this sounds like a really deep, like, hatred for her that he wouldn't be even willing to help her out a little bit here.
Well, with the stray comment, I'm getting the sense that she's, like, poor,
yeah,
or
that's
doesn't have a lot of resources, and he resents her for that.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Is it just classism?
That's my guess.
Is she beneath him, and he doesn't want to deal with, petty stray cats or whatever?
Yeah, well, because OP did mention that, like, her family brought her on vacation, so like OP's family might have been middle class or upper middle class, and her friend might have been poorer.
Yeah.
And so he resents that she's, poorer and needs more assistance.
Yeah.
I think, given the situation as it stands, OP doesn't get any jerk points. Now, if she were to, like, move Amber into her house without consulting the husband, that would be an issue. But I don't think there's anything wrong with, one, telling your husband that that's not, and his brother, that it's not okay to talk like that.
Yes.
And two, still wanting to help your friend without involving your husband.
I think OP is well entitled to help their friend, and I think that that's perfectly fine. But yeah, if they were to move them into the house, I think that's not what I'm a little bit unsure of here, is if they're saying they're going to move them into the house or just help them. So yeah, as long as OP isn't bringing them into the house, I think that's fine. But yeah, I think overall OP would probably get 0, and the husband and the friend 4. I don't know.
Yeah,
3.5.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like, it's a really gross remark, and I'm not sure how to rate one remark.
Yeah, so. We don't know the history. We don't have a whole lot of background information. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I have some tea right here.
I have water. I actually also have tea as well, but it's over there. What do hippopotamuses have that no other animal has?
Well, when I was a boy, I used to respect hippopotamuses quite a great deal for their large size and their amphibious behaviors, right? They're very amphibious. That must be what it relates to, is their ability to be amphibious. And we know that no other animals in the animal kingdom are capable of living in the water. There are no other creatures that can survive water, and that's
not a thing.
I think that is what hippopotamuses have that no other animals have.
Do you want to hear the answer?
Oh, sure.
Baby hippopotamuses.
That's a true statement. But don't humans keep baby hippopotamuses?
But they don't give birth to them.
Well, okay. But they have them.
It depends on your definition of what have means.
I suppose so. And I have Earl Grey.
Which you guessed on your second try.
I did guess it on my second try. So, not such a great streak for me now. I guess I angered Google too much by insulting it. All right, folks, that's all the time we have for today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, consider giving me a like. And if you didn't, consider giving me a dislike. Thanks to Amber for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Happy Friday, Junior.
Happy Friday, Junior.
We finally made it to Thursday. I thought it was Monday yesterday or something like that. I don't know. It's been a week. It's been a week, folks. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you all tomorrow.
Bye.